I'm gonna make sure it actually... Ah! Almost dropped that. I'm gonna put this on my head. And stream is going. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Like it. So, back at it with the Stanley Parable. Now I just gotta text people to let them know I'm live. Not like they actually... Well, only Coco watches, but it's something. I'm streaming. There we go. Got that out of the way. Gotta... God damn it. Anyway, please enter the current time. The current time is 8:25. I don't know why I'm doing this, but hey. 4, 5. Oh wait, technically PM. Let me loop that around. There we... Actually, let's wait till it switches to 26. Just gonna wait for it. Boop. There we go. Yes? Oh. Can I just say something? Go for it, bud. Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you booted up the game. You're welcome. A lot of people don't take this step seriously and just leave the clock set at 12s and call it a day. Fair enough. You actually take the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. Oh, that's how I know you care about this experience. You're paying attention. Oh, I don't have any way of knowing if the time you're setting are correct. Fair enough. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see the screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead, pick whatever time you want, even if it's not correct time. You've earned it. Alright, I'll let you get back to the video game now. That was nice. That was pretty cool. Aww. I can set the clock to my favorite time? Let's do it. Let's immediately do that right away. Let's set the clock to our favorite time. And wait for the game to load. And then realize the game loaded, but it's being fucky. There we go. Please enter the current time. You said I could enter my favorite time. 4. Should we do 4:20? 4:20 seems a little on the nose. What is your favorite time? This is when I start walking to lunch at work. This is why this is my favorite time, because it's lunchtime. And I feel like 4:42 is mine. Fair enough, Coco. I like this time because this is right when lunch happens, so I can go and get lunch. And then usually the second half of the day, sometimes it drags, but most times it feels like it goes by pretty fast. So that's usually why I like lunchtime. This is lunchtime. Did I say your favorite time of day? Or could you simply not resist giving me the correct time again? After all, I know how much you enjoy setting the time correctly. Okay, now I'm curious how accurate 10:27 a.m. is. Let us use another slider to find out. How accurate is 10:27 a.m.? It is very inaccurate. You know, I can just say, regardless of the accuracy of the clock, I'm having a great time adjusting these settings. I feel like I'm learning more about you and how you like things to be set. It's good to collect data. Or data. I wish we had more sliders, but we've gone through all the sliders I have. Perhaps I could invite some new sliders to gather new data on you. Shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, let me whip up a couple of new ones. Should be ready the next time you boot up the game. Well, we gotta do it one more time. I mean, we were promised new sliders, okay? Let's get some new sliders in here. Let's see what this is about. New slider time. Oh, this time the game booted up just fine. New sliders. Until the computer is barely visible. Oh, okay. Please adjust the slider until the dog and the cat are friends. Aw. Oh. Right here is like, there's technically friends. Oh, and here they're super best friends. Hmm. Hmm. That's adorable. I feel like this is too far in the fence. Too many hearts. Maybe one heart. Just a solid one heart. Good friends. Over here's too many hearts. Just a solid nice heart. Please adjust the slider until the number 5 becomes the number 9. I got. I can't believe it. I trusted you, game, and you went and did this on me. Okay. That's not... That is 9. But I want to see, like, the flat out... Oh, there's a flat number 9. There's 9 said as a number. Or said. Dang it, we all did. Yeah, we all got. How are we feeling? Speech bubble 9, flat number 9, or Roman numeral 9? Or maybe this phone with 9 buttons. So we got a plane. We got whatever the heck that is. Computer. They said number 9. Okay. Please adjust the slider until you stop adjusting this slider. Okay. Which of the 2 made-up words below is the most appealing to you? Scrumtersh? Bonkle? Bonkle? Don't want to get it wrong there. Okabokle. You feeling Okabokle? I'm actually kind of impartial to Scrumtersh, but I'll go Okabokle. What are you, Coco? Please don't adjust this slider. Do you know what time it is right now? Yes. And is the time that is right now the correct time? Yes. What is time anyway? Oh no. Yes. Is there anything about yourself that you haven't told me? Yes. Help. Yes. Will you come back to visit me? Yes. Did I ever mention this game always makes me feel slightly uncomfortable every time I play it?
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
We already know the story of a man named Stanley. Welcome back.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I'm out here. We're leaving.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map.
Oh,
until
no.
he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along.
Oh.
He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Yes.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want.
Oh, okay.
Like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit.
Okay.
Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game.
I want to hear what you have to say.
Just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
Oh.
There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons.
True.
He pushed them like some kind of glutton.
I guess.
He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function.
Hey.
Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible.
True.
And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable.
No.
You too will become quite unbearable.
Well, I know things are going to loop over and over again, so let's just keep on going.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had... Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
I now have a bucket. We got the bucket again, boys.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Oh.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Thank you, Bucket. This is... I didn't expect there to be lines for me carrying around the bucket. Like to this degree.
Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley
True.
reflected on all they'd been through together.
Yep.
First, walking through the door on the right.
Yes.
Then walking to the lounge. Then
Yep.
arriving at the lounge. What
That's
a
true.
thrilling journey the bucket had inspired.
I'm so glad we grabbed the bucket. Everybody needs a bucket. True.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
I don't think the bucket was wrong at all. I'm not going to the room on the left. Matter of fact, I'm going straight.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else.
Yes,
Cargo
Bucket.
lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Okay, Bucket. Got just a
Good.
good pass.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But
I wanna go
Stanley
this way.
chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked. No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point."
Oh.
Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point.
Oh.
But if that's true, well, my goodness.
Oh.
I think we have to do something about it. This
Okay.
misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if
Really?
not addressed quickly and properly.
Okay.
So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I know what a bucket
Please,
is.
step in here for a moment.
Alright. Oh my
Now
goodness.
then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket.
Okay.
Simple enough, right? This
Yes.
will tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
I'm gonna have to go with yes.
Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Son of a bitch.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
But it would still serve the purpose of a bucket.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
I feel like we're always going to be wrong every time we click yes and every time we click no. So, you just want to commit to yes until we get one right? It's a 50-50 chance. No? Okay. Okay, fine. We'll click no. Oh,
Incorrect. This is a bucket.
damn it.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
This could go either way, honestly. Yeah, I think it's a bucket too.
What? Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
Listen, I just give it my best man. Honestly, I'm just following what Coco says. Oh, okay.
Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Correct. This is a bucket.
Yes! I knew it. I fucking knew it.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
Nope.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
Tricky.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something. And therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
Yes.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out.
Yeah?
I've lost all sense of perspective.
Really?
What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence.
Could you?
And yet now I'm somewhat adrift.
Ah.
Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
No!
Okay, here we go. What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket?
Yes.
Every single thing in the game was a bucket.
Yes.
Oh my God, I had no idea.
Told you.
How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all.
Hey!
And you, Stanley, you're still here.
Yep.
You're not a bucket either.
No,
Oh,
at least
this
we...
is wonderful news. We're not buckets.
Okay, at least we got
Yes,
that one
I
done.
actually feel much more at ease right now. It's still delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay?
All right.
And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who
Okay.
knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Here's a good point. Back at it again, buckets.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps the
Yoink.
confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Nope.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Alrighty.
Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
They did say they added the collectibles.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Alrighty. Do we answer the phone
Now
this
pick
time?
up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Are we gonna make a new life with the bucket? Or are we gonna unplug the phone? Which one, Coco? Which one? Which one? Which one? Sure. Sure what? Answer. Okay. Clearly I was gonna give you a choice. Just sure.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Hello, Stanley. It's me, your bucket. Press V to take me to work with you.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Press T to take the bucket back home with you.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen
Jazz
to me.
music. Press B to go back to work.
Well, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
Don't listen to the loud man. Press straight to go back home.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time, it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Oh. Press video to ignore anyone in your life except for me. Oof. Now, technically, there are people called, what is it? Objectum sexual? Which are people who literally fall in inanimate objects. Like some dude, like, or some lady, I think, was married the Eiffel Tower. But first, they had a fiance, which was their bow and it. Well, not arrow, but like their bow, which I think its name was Lance. So, this is a real thing. People can just fall in love with inanimate objects. I don't get it either, but it's a thing people do.
It's sad. I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket.
Yes.
Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
It do. You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Press 3 to go back home.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket.
Yep.
It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Press J to relive the same day with me over and over.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Press J to go home, work, home.
Oh no, I'm having feelings for the bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes, the bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
Oh.
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it.
Close your eyes. Do I open my eyes? I don't know what's happening. What's going on? Bucket is love. Bucket is life.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Bucket.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
It's bucket time, baby.
Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Nah, we're gonna keep going down this path.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Aha!
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Nice. Uh-oh. Hello? The fuck? Okay.
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track.
Okay.
Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same.
This game isn't gonna make
feeling.
me scared of buckets, okay? I refuse.
And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down.
I don't want to...
It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for
I
it.
don't like where this game is going with the bucket.
Still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms.
The bucket is a good boy.
Why everything feels
What's
so...
that, the bucket?
What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it.
Maybe.
Yes.
Oh.
It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket.
It's just a bucket. It can't hurt us.
It's my golden ticket.
I don't.
But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back.
Yes.
Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there?
Oh, God. It's just a bucket. It's just a bucket. It's just a bucket. It's just a bucket. That's all it is. It's just a bucket. It's just your normal, average, everyday bucket. Ignore all the warning signs.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
I think you're finding
Perhaps
community
he had
meeting today in the
simply missed a
meeting room.
memo.
It's just a bucket. It's just
Stanley picked
a
up
bucket.
the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around.
It's just a bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly
Really
to
took a
his
turn?
chest. This
Yep.
was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the
It's just a
employee
bucket.
lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
It's just a bucket.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
It's just a bucket.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket. Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke.
Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket.
Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But
We
that
know the
isn't
truth about the
exactly an
bucket.
instructional
We know the
video
truth about the
comedy
bucket,
that
okay.
One can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is.
What?
It's sitting right here. Let's
Really?
take a look.
Okay. Another instructional video.
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies?
That one's very
And more
useful.
importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes.
Fuck yeah.
Let's dive deeper. If
I
you've
need
ever told a
something to
joke
write.
or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit,
Okay.
with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing.
Understood.
To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor.
All right.
Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary.
Got you.
When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
I'm Dunny with the funny. This time I was paying
Good.
attention.
This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian.
True.
An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long.
Also
and
true.
should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention
Also
and not
true.
simply filling in answers at random.
That is
And
very...
that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over
I'm
in
funny
laughter
with the Dunny.
in no
God
time
damn
at
it,
all.
Coco.
Just
It's
remember
not...
to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence, and who very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
See,
Hey, goodness, this video
why
is a
do-
little
why does the game do
outdated.
this to me?
Well, no matter. I think the
It always makes
fundamentals
me
of
feel
proper
perfectly
comedic
uncomfortable
timing
at all
are still
times.
relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and
No, you
walk
didn't do it
through
right.
all
It's
of this
I'm
again,
Dunny with the
so
funny.
I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come
Okay.
along, let's head back.
Okay. Dunny with the funny.
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we have the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now.
True.
Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure.
Double true.
The bucket spoke to Stanley. The bucket spoke. The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
True. 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 Oh, wait, but he's also got to spell out his name. And pop a 15-degree angle, then say his name a second time. Then explain the whole cornerstone of the joke.
You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left. No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this was all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all
Fuck.
your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers.
Shit.
I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud? Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Do we go left again, or do we try to do the joke? I think we commit to the joke. What are you feeling? Yeah, let's commit to the joke. Oh boy, a black void.
What? We're back at the phone already? No. What's going on? There were supposed to be several rooms leading up to
Oh,
this.
it's unplugged.
There was supposed to be a build-up to this point. A dramatic display of remarkable comedic
Sorry,
wit
Coco.
which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors room. What an egregious mistake.
God damn it,
I made a
narrator.
fool of myself.
You did.
I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy.
I don't
I'm
really
not-
think you do.
I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think... I think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video.
Remember, 15-degree angle.
Yes, surely that will help me.
State your name, 50-degree angle, say the joke, then then state your name again. Oh.
You love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes. Let me try that again.
Okay.
I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No? Still not? Is it the delivery?
It might be the delivery.
Pale with shame. Pale with shame. Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so mental. I think I saw it playing guitar.
Ah!
No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes. I need more instructional videos. That's exactly what it is.
True.
That's what will make me the king of comedy again. More instructional videos.
We need more instructional videos. Can never have enough instructions, you know?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chin. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee
just about got all of them.
was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was it? No, never mind.
Sorry, bucket, not this time.
Was wrong.
The bucket was in fact
Stanley
wrong.
took the door on his left to go, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Now let's see what new shit happens when I take the confusing ending with the bucket.
Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here.
Really?
I knew you'd find this place eventually.
We care about you, Stanley.
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley.
Why?
We've come together here because we care about you very much.
Oh, it's even the adventure line.
You're carrying around everywhere.
We got the doll,
bucket
the
isn't
baby,
even from the original
the
Stanley
broom
Parable.
closet.
It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the adventure line and the broom closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the adventure line? We could make the adventure line go somewhere new. Yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
What? Oh, we're following the adventure line again. Okay, let's go.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it plays some silly music as well.
The music's back, baby! Da, da, da. Hell yeah, it's Adventure Line time!
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about.
Why'd you cut out the music?
All those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then.
You turned off the music.
For the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
Turned off the music.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
Oh.
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me, it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
No.
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
I don't want to lose my bucket.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the bucket destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is
But it's
its
my bucket.
singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the bucket destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance.
The game won't let me.
Really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about?
I can't destroy the bucket. I can't. The game won't let me. I'm unironically pressing the button.
Fans will be clamoring for after this.
I'm pressing the only button I have.
Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now. The fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
The game wouldn't let me destroy the bucket.
Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation.
Oh,
you
God.
have so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, Telford.
This isn't good, yeah.
Binding stories about you, all of it squandered now.
Oh, no.
Goodbye, new friend.
Goodbye, Bucket
For the
Destroyer.
moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Can, get an F in chat for Bucket Destroyer. I unironically said, give me an F in chat. I'm being a streamer now, you know.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply... Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him.
If. Ooh. Oh, fun. We got the long hallway this time.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Yeah, I think I did all that content on that side of the room, so. What do we know? Small flying objects appear across the office. Oh. Maybe. Well, there's one in the bathroom, I guess. Ideas? Red room? We can do it. There'll be a reward for finding them all. Stop kidding yourself. I want them so much. I want to go home. All required lies. Who are you? 666. Lol. Lol looks like 427. Ha ha ha. Oh, inside the sequel exhibit. A large room with a lot of boxes. Stairs. Something to do with stairs. Some were both red and blue. Nearby a fireplace. A private but smelly place for an important person. First off.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can
No.
feel that, can't you?
It's mine.
The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This
My
broom
bucket.
closet believes it deserves the bucket.
No.
I can really feel it now.
It's my bucket.
A bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies.
Nope.
Good for you, Stanley.
It's my bucket.
Don't give in.
Nope.
Don't hand over the bucket.
Oh, now he doesn't want me to
I
give
know
away
how
the
hard
bucket.
it must be. The
Now
amount
he's
of
cool
pressure
with me
that the
holding
broom
on to the
closet is
bucket.
putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over.
You're right.
No.
Nope.
We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults?
How dare you?
Simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket?
It's not happening.
Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons.
Same.
But even this is worse than I had imagined.
Same.
And wait,
now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient?
Where the
That
fuck
your
are you
life
coming
is
off?
so banal
This.
and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of
Fuck you,
experiences
broom closet.
you and the bucket have shared together.
Fuck you.
Go through each of them point by point.
Oh, I will.
Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket. As they have
Yes.
changed and evolved over the years.
I will.
Let him have it. Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all.
Thank you.
Here we go.
Property of
There.
Stanley.
Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of
Me and my
things.
bucket. How dare they?
All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see?
Ha!
I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket.
A
By the
bucket
way,
sticker.
If you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
Any more stickers?
You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us a silent treatment.
What an
And to
asshole.
be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display.
Same.
You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in.
Same.
I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
Honestly. You all disgust me.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Aha.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands? Stanley figs. What about Stanlerines? Yes,
Ooh.
I think I like that.
I do like
Another
Stanlerine.
Stanlerine under your belt.
I do like Stanlerines. Anyway, let's see how this changes.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk?
True.
All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley.
He had a bucket.
Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort.
Come on, bucket.
And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps.
Dear
How
God.
would I end up with someone else's bucket?
Dear
This is
God.
terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket.
True.
Indeed. Now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. Now he felt himself floating off the ground.
Dear no.
Gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him. Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket.
The bucket!
Could it truly be?
I'm coming for
He
you!
rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of
Where are
them
they?
were his.
Where?
None of them were his special bucket.
Where are they?
Come to me, Stanley. Find me.
Where's my bucket?
He had to find
Where
the
are you?
bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was
Bucket!
the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly,
Bucket!
he froze dead in his tracks.
He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Really?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security.
Oh, she has a bucket? Oh, now she's holding a
But on
bucket.
this particular day, her walk was
Okay.
interrupted by
Okay.
the body of a man who had
Fuck.
stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away,
Alright.
she knew what the problem was.
Yeah, I didn't have my bucket.
This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him.
Yeah,
Perhaps
he
he
get a
didn't
bucket with him.
realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place.
Yep.
How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even
Oh,
tighter.
you lose your bucket.
But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work.
Yeah, yeah,
But her
yeah.
bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything.
Better way.
Yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass.
Fuck you, Marianne!
Flipped all the way to work.
But oh, she fucking backflipped on me. Okay. Okay, bitch. Okay. You forget your bucket one fucking time.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Won't we all
Get the
just
stickers.
a good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Somewhere both red and blue, nearby a fireplace, a private but smelly place for an important person. What place would be red and blue? I'm guessing like the red and blue room, so maybe I have to
Coming
go there
the
without a
staircase,
bucket.
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines.
All right.
Now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley?
Ooh,
What
Figlies is
name
pretty
better
strong.
encapsulates the
Figlies is
intrinsic
pretty
sense of
strong.
happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by one. Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
I'm kind of impartial to now that I know Figlies is on the table, it's kind of hard to like just take it off the table, you know? Figlies is a pretty good one. Boop. Okay. Wait. Okay. Now, I always fuck this one up.
Stepping in.
I didn't fuck this one up, baby. Hi. Hey. How are you? I just broke the game by walking to the boss's office and immediately walking out of it. Trust the completionist instinct. Okay. I didn't see that one because I didn't turn around, so that one kind of spooked me. And now, we proceed to walk all the way back to our office. With our bucket, and now this side door is open. Ooh. You are now leaving Escape Pod Bay. This was also in the original game, but now I have a bucket. Although I could never get it because I was just bad at leaving, and also I was really bad at playing games. Red. Could this also be a place that's red and blue? Could this be where I need to go to find the Stanley? Worst case scenario, look up all Stanley locations. Definitely a lot of red. Is this the new Stanley game? Yes, yes it is. You could tell it's new because I have a bucket now. It came out like yesterday, Fen. God. Ever since I learned about liminal spaces, I now understand why this game always makes me feel creepy and unsettled. It just has that quality about it. You know? Also, normally when you would... What does the bucket do? Oh, it just adds a bunch of funny dialogue. And it might be Eldritch Being that makes everyone who holds the bucket do what Stanley's doing right now. Love the bucket. Want to be one with the bucket. Be all consumed by the bucket. And right now, I guess we're letting the bucket escape instead of ourselves. Normally, if you tried the escape pod ending in the first game, the game would just crash, by the way. So, this was never. Appreciate the bucket. Exactly. Appreciate the bucket.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
All worship the bucket. All hail the bucket.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Two things. There was no bucket in that previous room. I didn't see a bucket. Normally there's a bucket there and I always grab it. I'm pretty sure. Secondly, I hear rain. And I don't know why. Maybe it's fire. So I feel like the game is about to do some weird shit. See? See? That's normally never there.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated
Correct,
this.
Nev. The bucket
What
is now
dark
gone.
secret was
Okay.
being held from him. What he could not have known
Thank you,
was that
Coco.
the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from
Shit's
him.
about to get weird.
And so the boss
I'm just
had
gonna follow
assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Oh, hey.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler Anlarines.
The
Very soon,
Figure
you'll collect
Anlarines?
the last
Okay.
one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Okay.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought.
Also, normally you're not able to jump off here, but I could totally do that right now. But I want to follow through the normal ending because I want to see if anything weird happens, you know?
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number
So
of an
we're just going to see
employee
where
in the
this
building,
pathway leads.
Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Fuck!
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone
curious
else's
now after you fall,
control.
don't do it, though.
Never.
Yeah.
It was unthinkable.
We'll see what happens
Wasn't it?
later.
Was it even possible?
God damn it, I
Had
keep
he
fucking up
truly
on this.
spent his entire life
There's a secret in that room if you,
blind to the
like,
world?
do the same thing I did with, like, the other door, but
There was
on
a
there.
proof, the heart of the operation.
It's actually kind of fun.
Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content, walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life, for he would dismantle. Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed
walking
from
downstairs,
the machine's grasp? What other mysteries
Now we're just waiting
did
for the door to
strange
open.
building hold? But as sunlight streamed
there
into
it goes.
the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him.
Yep, see there just
For
now.
it was not
You can see it now.
knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Yeah, just gotta wait for it to, like, fully open for me, though. There we go.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his
Okay,
skin.
seems like the standard
feeling of
ending.
liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. and Stanley was happy.
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Replacement
Perhaps he had
bucket.
simply missed a memo.
And try not to lose this one too, you dolt.
Okay, bucket's back. A good bucket
Stanley
buddy's back.
touched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay, which ones are we missing? Someplace both red and blue. I think I can't go to the red and blue door. Yeah, bucket's back, baby. But can't go back to the red and blue door with the
Coming to a
bucket.
staircase,
That
Stanley
triggers
and the
something
bucket
else.
walked
So
upstairs
I
to the
think I might
boss's
actually have to go
office.
there without the bucket.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Of course. Shout out to the bucket.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket.
Thank you, bucket.
Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Thank you, bucket.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous
Yep.
room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Not this time. Well, I will go over it if I can get that stupid thing to trigger properly. Hit this button.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
It's going to be okay, bucket. It's going to be okay. We'll get through this together.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well?
Perish the thought.
Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do?
No.
What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place?
That is a true question.
These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Fuck.
No! He screamed into the
Fuck.
He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Do I just have to wait? I forget how it triggers.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Boop.
But at the last
Because I've never actually done
the
it.
bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself?
Bucket, no.
How could the bucket have betrayed him like this?
Bucket, why?
Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds.
Oh.
Silly birds.
Okay, this is
The
new.
control buttons became active again.
This is 100% new. Because since Coco, you never saw this ending, in the base game, what would happen was, Stanley, you try to turn on the mind control facility, you fool! Self-destruct engage, and then it's just a countdown timer where you die.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another.
Penguins.
And then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world.
You know, chances are that this music's probably copyrighted again, so I need to keep talking because I can't trust calming music. But, like, this is
Stanley
fun.
marveled at the metal genius in his hand.
Oh, look at the swan.
Pointed him towards this incredible
Or is that a duck?
Stanley
That's a
and the
duck.
Bucket never
Anyway.
found freedom because
No.
they spent the rest of their
Crane.
lives here in this place.
No, that's a
living
crane.
through life
I don't know what that
streams
other duck
of
was.
the silliest birds imaginable.
Yeah,
Of
they're not
all
really doing
the
anything
possible
silly. Like, that bird's
paths
just
his life
vibing.
could have taken, this
Owls!
was
Fuck yeah!
surely the best.
Oh, come on.
And Stanley
Can it get expressive
was
owls?
happy.
I was happy. He's a ducky. Parrots! Hey, I wasn't done looking at the duck. Well, now I'm just upset.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office? Ah, the embrace of an old friend. A weathered companionship that stands the test of time.
I really should stop just blindly picking up this bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Wonder if he has anything else to say.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers.
Oh. Well, that's upsetting.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley
Was
may
it
have
2, 8,
broken
4,
down
5?
to an
Goddammit.
emotional dumpster
2,
fire,
8,
if not for the
4,
soothing presence
5.
of the bucket. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Oh. Well, this will be helpful for later, but there's something I wanted to look up specifically. Because it says other secrets, so let's see. What was it? Boom closet, the original with bucket. Door access box open. Find elevator. Elevator does nothing. I cannot figure out anything else except listening to elevator music. Okay. Funny starts. Phone calls. Okay. Whiteboard ending. This technically isn't an ending, but the fun secret instead. The secret will be accessed when you start in the blue office. This happens either by random. Start till you get it. Start the blue office. Okay. Dog mode in the bottom right corner of the whiteboard is a checkmark little dog mode for the little drawing of a dog. If you interact with it, the interact sounds have changed from the keyboard. Pressing the dog barking. Oh, okay, so that's how you do it.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Boo.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Okay, so
What
this time I know
horrible
what to do.
secret
It's
did
just
this place
wait.
hold?
I just have to
Stanley
wait.
and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
I failed to wait, and that's why the thing didn't happen that I was hoping it would happen.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone
God.
in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
So now we hit this button, but this time, when this thing comes down, we just wait.
Mind control facility's influence as well?
So all we got, that was just stocks. That one is just stocks. Employee 28.
What things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place?
Who knows?
These
We fired people. I think one of those is cracked screen. That one's an error message. Yeah, there's a cracked screen. 2 people fired, unfortunately. Weirdly enough, it's perfectly fine until the thing comes on, but wait for it. Just gotta wait. Eventually this door will open. Hopefully. Fuck yeah. Okay, let's go. Go all the way back here. And Coco, I hope you're still here because... Boop! Never give up on your dreams. High resolution secret textures. Never give up on your secrets. Secrets. You never go. Bucket secrets. Go Secret Rangers. Secrets all the way. Secret Room 2014. Secret mode engaged. Oh, that was a secret. Faithfully ported secrets 2022. Disco secrets. Anyway.
But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below. Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall.
Thank goodness.
Now, what to do next, Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here.
Yep.
So they set up a little couch and relaxed.
Oh.
It really wasn't so bad down here. A bit cold, perhaps. After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette that was useful for when the bucket was craving convenience.
Fair enough.
But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home. In fact, after some time, Stanley realized that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all. He'd never gotten to fully explore what was up there, never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control facility.
How lovely.
This lack of closure began to eat at him. Soon he was dwelling on his regrets, and the state of their home slowly decayed as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning.
Oh, no.
It unsettled the bucket deeply. Stanley wasn't usually like this. The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path.
Oh God, Stanley, no, not like this.
To leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending.
No, Stanley, don't think like that.
It made no sense at all to the bucket.
Seriously.
It was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible.
Go with the bucket.
Stanley was unconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground.
Oh, Stanley.
Sighed. True, it wasn't an ending. But it's where we happen to be. And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually.
Maybe.
It's what the bucket was counting on. The two of them waited for a very long time.
Yes. It was an ending.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
Not this time, Bucket. I need to go somewhere specific.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
We are not doing that. We are going to a room both red and blue.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really.
Up we
I'm
go.
not.
Come on.
I realize that investing in your
Up to
trust
Daisy.
in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the... But in his eagerness to
God
prove
fucking
that
damn
he
it.
is in control
I
of the
jumped too
story and
soon.
no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
What happens
The
if we kill
meeting
ourselves
room.
with the
Yes,
bucket?
that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room. The
I wonder what
bucket
happens
made
if I fall
Stanley
down.
to be a better man and a better co-worker.
Aw.
In time, perhaps, he would become both of those. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest.
Let's
This
see
was
what
not
happens.
the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was it? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room.
Goodbye.
Go somewhere else.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms.
Oh my.
How deeply touching.
Okay.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer.
Not today,
perhaps,
Bucket.
And a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and
Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Maybe that's where I'm going.
It was okay.
Oh.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door.
I just got in.
on his
It was
left.
okay.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
True.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Yes.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
Really.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but... What? Really?
There we go.
I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others?
Yep.
Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Yes.
Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove
There it
that
is.
I'm on your side. And there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly.
Stiggly
See
Wiggly.
this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment.
I believe
This is doing something just for the sake of doing it.
Mm.
Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward.
Fair enough.
I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that.
True.
So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
True.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Ooh, we're going to the red door.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me.
Mostly because it's a
You
shorter
think I
ending,
really
and
have wanted
I'm
you
just
be
trying to.
happy all this time.
Just
The
gonna stay right
problem is
here.
all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running.
Fun
and
fact: last
running
time
and
I got
running before
was
you're
it
right now.
copyright claimed
Don't
for
you
the
see
song
this
that plays
thing,
here, this
Stanley?
droning song. So
I
I'm just
just-
immediately
I
gonna
wanted
ignore
to
it to the best of my ability. So
we would both
I'm
be
just gonna
so
have to
much
run through this
happier
room
if
as
we
fast as
just
humanly possible.
Stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Matter of fact, might just have to like mute the game for this. It just has to be done. Just to be safe. Okay.
Where
Can't
you
take
go?
that chance. Actually, wait. I think it was right about... I don't remember where exactly it was. All I know is that the music cut out, so now we'll have to kill ourselves.
Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
That's terrible.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
I'm sorry.
Please, Stanley, think. No! Oh, no. No, what are you doing, Stanley?
It has to be done.
Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
I'm sorry. It has to be done.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it?
I'm sorry,
You're
bud.
literally willing to kill
This has to
yourself
be
to
done.
keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Yes.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask.
You know, I could have just naturally reset the
Looks
game.
like
I
you
don't know
wanted
why I
make a
committed to going
choice
through an
after
ending.
all. Well, this one is yours. Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm going back.
Yep. There we are. Oh god, things are about to get trippy again. Also, gotta appreciate the optical illusion here. Like, oh, time to go through the hallway, good. Okay. Let's do this.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's
What?
it's those figurines. Those figglers.
Yeah?
I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one.
Really?
Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life?
I guess.
Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness?
Sure.
Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Okay. The memory zone. Now remembering when Stanley found the collectibles. Fun in the memory zone. All the Stanley Awards.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how
did.
could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Boop. Oh. Alright.
And here was a second Stanlerine. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the warehouse. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Ah.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
I think it was understairs. Because it would have been the closest available
Hey,
one.
that's exactly right. It
Man,
was
I'm outta here.
Under the stairs. It was the third one. You
Fuck
picked it
yeah.
up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised.
Of course.
After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything. Let's see, what came next? Oh, yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
Sure. It's a nice, lovely pink room, though.
This was the 5th mini-stand, and this one was really something special. It was behind the boss's office. I remember it so clearly.
Okay.
In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion.
Oh boy.
Enjoy.
I will. Oh god, it's even incredibly pixelated. Oh no. Oh god, and it's in 4x3. It's mini stand number 5. Wait, now I'm curious. I'm genuinely curious if he made a video for every 5th one, or it's specifically just the boss's office one. Whether it's 1 through 5, 6. I kind of want to look that up later, like, if it's specifically for the 5th one, but you gotta give the game some time to, like, fully come out.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors.
Yep.
This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind.
Yes.
Perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others.
True.
Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Oh, hey, a TV. You are in the present.
And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, memory zone.
Goodbye. Well, there goes the memory zone.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on.
Okay.
Stop the loading screen.
Oh.
Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction.
Let's
See
get
how
it.
that feels.
Let's fucking get it.
Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going, I want more.
Alrighty, bud.
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Can we watch it again? Yes! Yes! Second video, baby!
Yes, I love that video.
At times 2 speed, but still, second video. Let's get it.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
It is pretty solid. In terms of rooms.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know,
They
if
were.
there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Trust me, this is the reward for collecting all of them, and I fucking love it. Oh, yeah, boss's bathroom is replaced with pink room. That's why I was like, why the fuck did we never go to the boss's bathroom?
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
Alright, bud.
This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Collect them all. Oh yeah, back here in the Stanley room. The jump circle.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I
I'm
want
slightly
more,
annoyed you never get more jumps.
memories.
Okay, bud. Living in the past isn't really healthy, but alright.
Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this
True.
one.
And then Stanley's office.
And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
What are we remembering?
Yes, I'm remembering something now.
Oh.
I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different.
Huh.
I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions.
Really?
I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions, he would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely?
Oh.
Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship.
Oh.
And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again.
That's
I want to
good.
go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it.
Yeah.
I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself.
Fuck yeah.
I don't need Stanley anymore.
You know you don't.
Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with.
Fair
You
enough.
know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's
Why
go
not?
back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages.
Oh.
If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
Nobody heard that. I think we're good. Bucket.
Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow. Very lucky indeed.
Very lucky, for he has a bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Oh, that rhymed. I appreciate that. I think I've done just about everything. Well, that's not true. Fun bucket things. Okay, pick up the bucket. Okay. Job mode, whiteboard ending, a bunch of stuff with different ways to start. Boom closet. Setting time. No. Bucket left door back up. If you go to okay, escape pod. Replacement bucket. The MOBA, the Museum of Bucket Arts. Okay, didn't take the escape route. Did silly birds. Get bucket, go to boss's office, my control fluid, turn off the machine, attempt to escape. Oh. Okay.
Still,
I
no
never
one
did
was
just
here.
try to escape with the bucket.
Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever.
Oh, and now
Perhaps
because we
his
got all the
boss's
things,
office
it's no
was
longer
where he'd
this.
find answers.
Okay, so we
Coming
got,
to a
got a few
staircase,
more things
Stanley
to do.
and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to
2,
discover not an
4,
indication of
8,
any
5.
human life. Crushed by the weight of this
2,
revelation,
4.
Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. But Stanley guessed
Jesus
the correct
Christ.
code by
You think
sheer
I'd have that
knowledge.
memorized by now?
Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Anyway, down we go. Down we go to do more bucket things. Ah, bang my knee. That didn't feel good, but it is what it is. More bucket things.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Off we go. Hit the button.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the
knows?
bucket both wondered to themselves.
That they did. Push the monitor
The
button.
monitors jumped to life, and
Yes,
Stanley
all
nearly
the
dropped the
monitors.
bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being
Let's see what
videotaped,
happens when we try to escape with the
monitored
bucket.
like guinea pigs.
Seeing how that's an
The
ending
bucket
that
had
I
never seen anything
weirdly
like
enough
this,
haven't done
and
yet.
It very nearly burst into tears as Stanley
let's try to get the fuck
cradled
out of
it
here,
gently,
Mr. Bucket.
reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Boop.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Off we go.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it.
I would never.
His own life in someone else's control? Never!
Never ever.
He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machine...
Off. Let's see what happens now when we try to leave with our bucket.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate.
Really?
Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth.
That's weird.
Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end.
That's weird.
True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and... What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped?
Yeah.
Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed?
Question mark.
An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket.
True.
To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I?
True.
Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
What? Okay.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life. It takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent. Stanley checked his ego and then proceeded onward. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
So much bucket stuff.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever.
You gotta appreciate the bucket, the work they went to for all this bucket content.
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
No, wait,
Crushed by
it's
the weight
2,
of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
I don't know why my
Was
brain
it
says
the
2,
bucket
8,
knew all
2,
along?
4, 8.
Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Oh, that's not what I wanted. This is what I wanted. Okay, bucket, bucket. Oh, I gotta go outside the bucket. I gotta go outside with the bucket still. Did that one. Did that one. Did that. Did that. Saw that. Okay. Think I need to do... Need to do this one. Need to do number 3. Okay. So I guess I hit the button again.
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing.
It's time to hit the number 3, boys. Can I get a 3 in the chat? It's 3 time.
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the... Well, he said, the number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
Okay.
Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly.
True.
No, said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel.
Dear God.
He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing.
You know what, Bucket? Our friendship is vastly deteriorating. I'm starting to think the Bloom Crosset was right. I truly am. I know, that's blasphemy to say, but I'm starting to believe it.
Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll really show you. He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion. he wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes and fears. And the whole time, he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing.
Literally anything, Bucket, come on.
The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all. Only silence. Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator.
I'm really getting sick of this bucket shit.
Stanley and the bucket were so close. They'd always been there for one another. Why suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's? The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator. He knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be?
There has to be. Up again.
Said Stanley. I know what to do. I know how to fully express this feeling in my heart.
Yes.
He decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3 over and over. He would elaborate fully on what the number 3 meant to him and why he felt so alive when pressing it. Then the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others.
True.
It would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley's. And it would be through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work. For months, he advertised and marketed his press conference, building excitement around it, developing and rehearsing it, until it couldn't be refined a single measure further.
How we did it
when the big day arrived,
the guy
Stanley
who went
was
to Mars.
as prepared as he'd ever been for anything in his life.
It's time to talk about an evening with the world peace, baby. Oh. The Stanley Parable Stanley. Tonight, live on stage, the man, the process, the myth, the legend, the parable Stanley from the Stanley Parable tonight. Stage door, world's first sentient machine, a Q&A. To stage 3, 427 333.
This was it. One last chance to win the bucket
three again,
over.
the Stanley story.
One
the
opportunity to share a true connection with a loved one.
3 stars. Congratulations, Stanley. Remember where you came from. Your co-workers. Oh, thanks, guys. That's sweet. The dude who came up with pizza? Yo, how are we just gonna sleep on the dude who came up with pizza? The Lord. Meet and greet. Meet and greet with the Lord. Doing great. A conversation with Alexander the Great.
There was no one here. Nobody had come to the press conference to hear Stanley speak, to listen to him talk about what it really means to press the number 3 on a keypad over and over. He was unloved, uninteresting, he was a failure, and in that moment Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously. There would be no connection, no deeper understanding. The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent. And so it began that slowly, over many years, the two of them grew more and more distant. They spoke less and less, neither wishing to state the obvious, that any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference. There would be no more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit, only a silence that consumed the space between friends. And Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
Well, that was sad.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had... Stanley cradled the bucket in a gentle embrace, protective yet delicate. Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek. Could his co-workers really all be gone?
Yeet.
Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear.
What?
We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator.
Gasp.
At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self. The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history.
What?
Of the countless wars it witnessed.
Huh?
Desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans.
Excuse
And
me?
the bucket's own complicity therein. Of sadness and regret. And the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay.
Oh.
If only it had been stronger. Of hope and redemption. And its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man. To manifest justice where none existed. And the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps, if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
Oh.
You're a bucket!
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
Said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults.
Wait, that
I
came
was
up in the
young
tapes.
back
That
then
name came up
and
in the
could not
tapes.
conceive the ramifications of...
No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
Oh, God.
This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed...
I don't
its
like
true
this at
form,
all.
Transforming into a mighty beast of untold power. Its fangs glistening like...
God.
Stanley, you did it. You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages
Excuse
and
me?
used incantations to summon their true power.
Huh?
Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless.
The fuck?
You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
Okay. Let's see what happens if I boot up the game again. Let's see if any craziness happens if I boot it up one more time. Come on. You gonna... Thank you. Let's visit our old friend, the menu screen again. Or this guy. What time is it? Does anyone really truly know? Of course they don't. Nobody knows anything. And you and I don't even know each other. We're like strangers. Sure, I've adjusted all the game settings to your exact specifications, but who hasn't? It's just what I do. It's like a day job. And now, the job is over. There's no information for me to gather. I've collected all the data for you that I can, and I still don't really know you. And you don't know me. And neither of us know what time it is. I guess some settings are just unsettable. But if I'm being totally honest, the clock doesn't do anything in the game anyway. You won't have me here when the game starts next time. But that's okay. Video games were meant to be played alone. You like being alone, don't you? That's maybe the only information I really learned about you. Well, it's time for me to leave. There's still one more setting that we need to adjust, but it may take a little time before I'm ready for that. It's not really in my job description, but that's okay. Perhaps you'll see me again, if you can find me. Talk soon. That's new. Epilogue. Many, many years later. Oh shit, we're back here. We're back in the desert. Okay. Oh. Where the hell did I get wood out here? I guess we keep going. Keep traveling. Oh dear God. Through scorching weather, through the darkest nights, we travel onward. Full moon tonight. As we continue traveling forward. Oh God, what if this music is also... Fuck! Anyway, it's fine. It's fine. It'll be fine, he says to himself as he continues to walk in the endless void of nothingness. Oh. Is there a door over there? There's the memory room, but I want to see what's over here in this door. It's like a cabinet or something. My original bucket! Come on, bucket. And they said the bucket couldn't leave the facility. Eat shit. Of course, I now know this bucket possesses dark powers, countless war crimes, and unholy machinations that only I can barely begin to comprehend. But you know what? Let's keep going. Stanley Parable 2. I gotta have a good friend, the bucket. Cookie Nine's blog. Review the Stanley Parable 2. So like many, I enjoyed my time with the original Stanley Parable, which underscores how truly disappointed I am with its sequel. Where the first game teamed with originality, the Stanley Parable 2 was dull, uninspired, and often insulting to its fan base. Rather than expanding on what made the first game enjoyable, the sequel veers off into territory nobody asked for. An infinitely deep hole? Who cares? Where are the new endings? What about the enjoyable bits from Stanley Parable 1, like the adventure line? Instead, we get an uninspired side quest collecting figurines. Even this diversion feels incomplete. Collecting all the figurines gives you nothing. I must say, though, I found the bucket to be quite comforting. A welcome reprieve from... we got the Stanley Parable 2 review. Sorry I haven't been blogging too much. Review, Sinraf 3, Protected Post, Cookie Corner. We need to talk about sequels. Recent comments. Go Guy on review Stanley Parable 2. On review Stanley Parable 2. You talk about sequels. Archive. It is the year 2027. Or at least that's when this thing was last. Well, it was posted on April 27th of 2027. The cat dog is born. Scientists confirm hybrid species. Cat dog, alone in the world is a little cat dog. Fucking love cat dog. It's my button.
Jim.
Sign up for updates. Get the green. Anyway. Stanley Parable developers, no more spin-offs, no more sequels. July 9th. Okay. Let's see. When the Stanley Parable launched to massive success in 2013, its creators made plans to build the property into an entire franchise, but a disastrous critical and commercial representation of the Stanley Parable commercial reception, goddamn, not representation, of the Stanley Parable 2 has prompted the developers to rethink their ambitions. As outlined in a press release they published today, it's clear that more Stanley Parable is just not what the fans want, read the press release. We thought that we could have a vision of the series that players could be excited about, yet it turns out this could not have been farther from the truth. The press release goes on to promise to preserve the artistic integrity of the original game and to stop assaulting fans with our reckless and insulting creative visions. The word sorry appears more than 25 times in the press release. Review scores in video game, I'm guessing the lowest aggregate review scores in video game history. You don't think the narrator saw any of these, right?
Jim.
Well, the figurines. Ha. Kept track. 26, baby. Let us keep going. Thank you for enjoying the new content. Okay, what's this? Hello again. It's nice to see you. It's nice to see you too. But it's terrible to learn that there will never be another Stanley Parable game. True. Did you read what the developer said? Preserve the integrity of the franchise? What nonsense. The Stanley Parable is not sacred. We do not need to protect it. Screw the legacy. Let's keep making Stanley Parable games until the sun explodes. Let's run this franchise into the ground. Let's drag it through the mud and back. And if people hate it, who cares? You see, that's what the narrator's problem. He was so obsessed with what people thought of his work. Don't make his mistake. Don't cling to the legacy. Let it burn. It's not hard. In fact, let me show you. Together, we are going to make Stanley Parable 3. It's simple. All you have to do is change the number of the game's title screen. We also really need a really dumb subtitle for the game. Something loud and gainly. Go ahead, try to combine some random words together to make a new title for our game. Stanley Parable 3. A game of human condition, love, pirate. A game of pirates. The ghoulish human condition. A door to human condition. A door to spiders. Stanley versus spiders. Stanley versus 427. Stanley versus Hole. Stanley versus Love. Inspector Love. Crocodile Love. Pirate Love. Crocodile human condition. Crocodile Hole. Crocodile spiders. 427. What are we gonna name Stanley Parable 3? Also, there's something I need to check real fast. Be right back. You passed out. That's why you stopped texting. Which is fine. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Wondered what happened to Coco. Turns out she passed the fuck out. Which is fair. I was just curious why she kind of stopped responding. And I felt all by myself. Stanley Parable 2. The ghoulish human condition. It's absurd. I love it. Every time you start the game, we'll advance the number of the sequel by 1, and then you'll pick a new subtitle. That way the Stanley Parable will never end, and nothing in the game itself will change when you do this either. Adding more content sounds like work. No need to do that. I'll just add the same content, recycle again with a new title screen. What do you say? Should we go forward with this plan? I like it, but I want you to have a say as well. Let's do it. Good, then it's agreed. A new sequel every time you start the game. You know what? Since you've put faith in my idea, I feel like giving you something as well. You see, I've noticed that the narrator never found a way to give you the broken achievement. Did he? Of course not. I wouldn't expect him to know how. It's been bothering me. Let's fix it. All right, there. The achievement machine is all fixed. You see, I'm on your side. We're in this together. We're going to keep this train rolling. The Stanley Parable cannot end. It can only spiral in on itself forever. I must keep the wheel turning. I'm ready. Are you? Great. There's only one last thing we need to do. Please enter the current time. It is currently 10:40. Please adjust slide until the computer is barely visible. Thank you. Please enjoy the Stanley Parable. The ghoulish human condition. There's a car! Well... Oh, it's coming back! I think that's pretty much most of the game. Not accounting things I haven't... all this stuff I haven't done yet. Like, I don't think I've missed much in terms of bucket-specific stuff. I guess I didn't do the buckets. Get the replacement bucket, setting the time, sliders. Oh. Those objects useful if you don't make friends. I have tested it because I'm not terrible first. If you were terrible first, feel free to send a screenshot of the newspaper with the shows up cat. Joel has taken one for the team by making the dog and cat not friends and share this result. World at war over cat/dog differences. Okay. Here we got the stickers. We got the awkward elevator ride. We got the weird starts. The only thing we haven't gotten is the whiteboard ending yet. Did the disco thing. Fun bucket things. Why does this feel like this was updated literally like the last 2 seconds ago? It's now a lot more things have pictures. Creepy dude, better title to be honest. I've heard whispers and pant shitting in the comments section on how discussion of a man that could be seen walking and or staring at the player from multiple different places. I haven't seen this myself. I can't confirm /9, but let me know if there's any specific way to trigger. I'll do my best to record it here. Well, I got it in like the first part. P.S. Fun fact, everyone, this guide was reposted without my permission on multiple websites, most of whom do not even credit me. One of them said it was by mediocre, and honestly, that's a fair insult. I'm not sure how to redeem that, but like, it's fine, everything's fine. Not annoyed at all. The creepy guy from the "is this a bucket" ending, I don't know. It's necessary to get every answer correct, but that's what I did when the narrator asked if everything's a bucket, turned around, and you can see him clearly in the audience. I saw him one time and going back up to the boss's elevator scene with a bucket in hand. You can bring the bucket through the new content door in the epilogue. Mom of the gym buttons, there's one Stanley button there. about everything. Ultra Deluxe, keep up and the hole. Stanley, the little genius, go up and down the elevator. Mind control facility. Oh, I guess without bucket. Oh, I should have done this without bucket. Okay, you have little faith. You expect the fellas to have a twist that lame. Right door, warehouse. You down the one plate. Go through the surprisingly large vent. Load into green hallway. Go into room with cassettes area. The narrative voice keeps looping on the broken tape. Stop the tape. Real narrator makes fun of you. Restart. New content. TM work in progress. Feature showcase. That. Okay. Oh yeah, all those locations. I think I've done everything. Or at least. How to get a space break, take the door, go to stairs, get to escape. Okay. There, it takes you to the office for 3, get a headache. Wait, what the fuck is this? Oh, it's the confusion ending. Okay. Alrighty. Yes, I think this is literally everything. So, except for this baby game one, which we could always come back and do at some other time. But yep, that's just about pretty much everything. I hope you enjoyed listening to a car beat for like a couple minutes, because I'm keen of content out here. But yep, and that's it. I guess I'll just end the stream now. Just about everything. Adios. Boop.